Welcome to the Year 7 lesson for multiplication in parts. In this lesson I'm learning to use the strategy multiplication in parts with larger numbers, specifically 1-digit numbers times 3-digit numbers. Let's start with this question here. 3 times 246. Now in the year 6 lesson, we split this number up into ones and tens, but you can see these are bigger numbers, they've got hundreds as well. So what we're going to do this time is we're going to split these numbers up into ones, tens and hundreds. So in this example here, we've got 3 groups, so I'm going to draw 3 groups. 1, 2, 3. Now 246 has got 6 ones in it, so I'm going to put 6 ones in every group. It's got 4 tens, or 40. And it's got 2 hundreds, or 200. So now you can see in every group I've still got 246, except the number is broken up to ones, tens and hundreds. Well, first of all I want to work out how many ones I've got. So I've got 3 groups and there are 6 ones in each group, so 3 groups of 6 is 18. So now I've gone through and I've worked out all the ones. My next step is to work out the tens. So again I've got 3 groups of 40, and I know that 3 groups of 40 is 120, so I can go through and cross out all my 40s. So now all I've got left is 200 in all of my groups, so I've got 3 groups of 200, and I know 3 groups of 200 is 600. So now I've worked out all my 200s and you can see there's nothing left in any of my groups. So now all I need to do is add these amounts together. 600 plus 120 plus 18, and that equals 738. So the answer to 3 times 246 is 738. Let's try another question. This time I want to work out 5 groups of 316. So I'm going to start by drawing out my 5 groups. 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I'm going to split 316 up into ones, tens and hundreds. So I'm going to start with my ones. So I need to put 6 ones in every group. Now I'm going to move on to my tens, and I need to put 1 10, or 10, in every group. And now I've just got the hundreds left. And I can see that I have 300s, or 300. So I'm going to add 300 to all of my groups. And now I'm going to start with my ones. Well, I've got 5 groups of 6. And 5 groups of 6 is 30. So I can cross out all my 6's. I've worked them out. Now I'm going to move on to my tens. I've got 5 groups of 10. And 5 groups of 10 is 50. So now I can cross out all my tens. And I've just got my 300 left. And I've got 5 groups of 300. Well, 5 groups of 300 is 1,500. And I can cross those out and you can see I've got nothing left in any of my groups. So last step is I need to add these numbers together. 1,500 plus 50 plus 30 equals 1,580. So 5 times 316 equals 1,580. Let's try one last question. This time I want to work out 4 times 242, but I want to do it without drawing any pictures. So I'm going to imagine it in my head. So I know that 242 is made up of ones, tens, and hundreds. Right, well I'm going to start with my ones. So I've got 4 groups of 2, and I know that 4 groups of 2 is 8. Now I'm moving on to my tens. I've got 4 groups, and there are 40 in all of those groups, or each of those groups. 4 groups of 40 is 160. So now in my head I've imagined my 4 groups, I've done my ones, I've done my tens, all I've got left are the 200s, which are in all of my 4 groups. So 4 groups of 200. And I know 4 groups of 200 is 800. Last step is to add all those numbers together. 800 plus 160 plus 8 equals 968. Let's have a think about the important things to remember from this lesson. Well, I'm splitting this number up into parts. That's why this lesson is called multiplication in parts. I'm splitting it up into ones, tens, and hundreds, and I'm doing it one step at a time. When I've found out the answer for all of these steps, I need to finish by adding them together. You can find the activity sheet that goes with this lesson in the Teacher Tools Multiplication and Division book from the White Book collection.